Again, thank you for Jamey Carls and Randy Brown in my studio. Lifeline-connect is what they're here to talk about. And Jamey, nice to see you again. For those that do not know, what do you do at Lifeline-connect?
I am the Assistant Director at Lifeline-connect, and Lifeline-connect is a faith-based men's residential recovery center. We're a 12-month residential center where guys can come in and get help for their life-controlling problems.
And these are people that are truly at the bottom. Barely living and fortunate to be alive kind of issues.
Correct.
That have gone in and out of rehab and failed and finally find Lifeline-connect, right?
Correct. Many guys have gone to several rehabs. I'm a graduate. I went to a couple rehabs, one long-term rehab before coming to Lifeline-connect, and ultimately surrendering my life and getting the help I needed.
Do you remember, Jamey, when you made that decision to say, this time I mean it?
I do. I was sitting there and just, I felt hopeless. I didn't know what to do. I also knew that I had a problem that I was 45 years old and I had nothing. I was down to nothing. And it was like, I got to figure out what's wrong with me. There's something wrong with me. Something's misfiring, and I got to figure out what that was.
What was it that you were on?
Alcohol.
Alcohol. Okay, yeah. Just the alcoholic.
Just alcohol.
You don't look 45 now, so I don't know how long ago that was, but you don't look 45 now, so you've aged well.
Thank you.
Since finding the Lord.
9 years ago.
9 years ago. Well, congratulations on that. Randy Brown is a pretty key component of all this because you might feel uncomfortable, but you can't bull Randy Brown. Somehow you have that perceptive feel, the God-given talent of knowing that this guy's serious and this guy's not. Yeah. How does that happen? I mean, when you are able to tell somebody it's very convincing that they're not ready.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing is we have to most of the time do that over the phone. We're doing phone interviews, and now that they're doing some texting in the jails, so a lot of the interviewing processes, when sometimes guys are in jail getting ready to get out, we're doing the interview via text and then just a few phone calls. But it's over a period of about 5 to 7 days. Our interview process is 5 to 7 days. And I'm always looking or listening for guys that are taking ownership for their lives. You know,
how did you get to Lifeline-connect?
How did I? Well, we started it like 18 years ago, close to 18 years ago. But before that, I was reaching out to men that I had been associated with before I came to God. And so when I was reaching out to them, I was reaching out to guys that were heroin addicts and crack addicts and things like that.
You knew them all.
Yeah.
Were you one?
You know what? I was an abuser, but I never considered myself an addict. I mean, by definition.
You could shut it down, sit it down, not do it.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Yeah. I mean, pretty heavy into the alcohol and some other drugs, but not.
How did you change? Well, I mean, how does a guy like that knows all the heroin addicts and does it himself and then find Jesus? How does that happen?
That last thing you said, find Jesus. That's how.
But you'd heard about it, but that's not for you.
Yeah, well, it was just, I was done. I mean, it was just like what Jamey said. It just was, none of it was working. And I can remember being, and I was in White Horse Inn the last time I got totally smashed, and I was at a table. And it was early in the evening. People used to eat dinner there.
Yeah.
And I drank so much that I threw up on the table and passed out in my own vomit. And when I came to, I looked around and these people were looking at me. And I walked down to that downstairs bathroom that was in White Horse. And I washed the vomit off my face. Sorry for the graphicness. And I looked in the mirror and I looked at the guy I was looking at in the mirror. I said, I am not going to be this guy. And I reared my head back and I smashed my face against the mirror and broke the mirror. And I said, I'm done. The next morning I got up and cracked a beer to go mow the grass. And I heard that sound and I remembered the night before. And I threw it in a trash can, emptied out the refrigerator, and then I called on God, and God just brought me out of it.
But you knew to call on God.
Yeah. I had family that was in church, like my grandparents, and they had exposed me to the Lord when I was young. They'd take me to camps and stuff like that. So I had some exposure, so I knew where I needed to go to get help. But, it took me a while.
It's remarkable, and we hear stories like that how God can use anyone.
Oh yeah, that's what baffles me more than anything. That God's using me to do this, a lot of people, but I get to be a part of it. And it just baffles me, just absolutely baffles me.
Well, Lifeline-connect changes not just lives. It changes generations.
It does.
I mean, the people all around your lives now, they're going to be changed forever.
They are.
So the important work you're doing, changing these lives, transforming, and your success rate is near 70%. And that's a really good rate based on what you're doing.
Yeah.
Did COVID really hurt me, Randy? Did COVID bring people back down to saying, I got to use again. This is too crazy. I can't do this.
Well, I think it did. I think it did a lot of things, but in the isolation of COVID too, I think there was a lot of people that figured out it wasn't, their problem was with them because there was a lot of isolation. So they were isolated with themselves, and they didn't have anything to blame it on. So there was a lot of people that thought, okay, I'm the problem.
Jamey Carls, we've got a banquet coming up. This is to raise money for this incredible program right here in Urbana. I mean, it's local. You know where the dollars are going. You're changing lives. We're placing people that graduate in Champaign-Urbana having marriages and kids. And wow, how does that? I mean, but how does that feel being part of that, knowing that God's using you as a conduit to change these generational livelihoods? It's amazing the success rate you're having. So the banquet's coming up in October. Tell me all about that.
So we have October 17th at the I Hotel. We have our annual Funding the Dream banquet, and this goes to support or raise money for our operating budget all year round to keep us going, because we do not accept any insurance money. We don't accept any state money. We are completely funded by donations, and whether it be individuals, churches, businesses. We have a lot of business supporters around Champaign-Urbana.
We're going to talk about Troy Lands. I mean, he's been one of your biggest guys.
He's great. He's our presenting partner for this, and has been, and a huge part of getting our new dorm built almost 5 years ago now. And so we have companies like that and people like that that have come on board with us. And right now we're just asking for other people, other churches, local churches, if you want to be involved, and if you have a recovery ministry and want to be a part of this, it's an awesome opportunity for you, as well as, businesses, because like you said, we have a lot of guys that come here from all over the country, and a lot of guys end up staying here and they become a great part of society, go out and work jobs and have families, buy houses. We even have guys that have started their own businesses.
It's great.
And just a huge success. It's a lot of people that the world is kicked out at one point and said they're no good, and now everybody, once they go through Lifeline and let God do a work in their life, it's men that a lot of people are wanting.
I mean, Paul had Stephen stoned. First martyr was Stephen,
right?
And he was out killing Jews,
right?
And essentially believers of Jesus,
right?
And Paul wrote 13 books in the New Testament.
Right.
So it's unbelievable. I mean, David wasn't perfect, right? But God has showed grace on. I mean, so there's always hope.
Yes.
There's that hope that, and it's you guys have taken these people that are hopeless and giving them a chance to really change. And it's a remarkable thing what you're doing, and just changing one would be remarkable, Randy.
Yeah, it's amazing what God's doing, and the thing that a lot of people don't know anything about is we're doing it non-residentially as well now. So we have the residential program, but we're working with people in the community non-residentially. It's a 9-month program it's like outpatient.
Wow, does that work?
Yeah, it's working, and so. We're using a lot of the same principles we use in the program. We're using the curriculum that we've written. And here we do nightly meetings in the men's and women's jail using our curriculum. And we're just kind of working all angles in our community. And so, we just need people to partner with us. I mean, we're willing to do the hard work.
This is hard work.
But we just need people to partner with us, whether it's business, individuals that can just come alongside of us and fund it. That's what we need help with.
It'd be so nice not to have to worry all the time about where the funding is coming from.
Right.
And there's a lot of people in this community can help you.
That's right.
Yeah, and the other thing, Stevie, is we only charge $500 as an entry fee for a guy to come in, and it's because it's just like myself. When I came here, I had less than $1,000 in my pocket, and so without taking insurance and all of that, we just charge $500 just as an entry fee, and for a guy to stay with us for a year, and it costs us we estimate about $1,800 a month per guy to have them.
Still not very much. I mean, when you think about feeding them and housing them and heat and air conditioning, all this stuff you do. And then, you do what you do, and people that might be listening now feel compelled to, even $50 a month would help.
Exactly. It's huge.
You don't have to do $1 bazillion, but if everybody kicked in, it would just really add up.
Yes.
It really would. So what would they do if they wanted to connect with you guys, Jamey? What do they do?
Just go to our website, Lifeline-connect.org, and you will see a tab on there on Funding the Dream, and you can make a recurring donation. Like you said, if somebody just wants to do $25, $50 a month, you can make that a recurring donation. Or if you do want to be a part of our banquet, and be a table sponsor or have your business sponsor it, there's different options there from as low as $500 on up, and different sponsorship levels. I do want to mention that Brian Barnhart will be he will be our MC, and Tim Sinclair will be our keynote speaker.
Hard to get better guys than that, that's for sure. Yeah. Randy, do you ever say, tired of this?
No.
You're trying to reach that person that's ready to hit their head on a mirror and say, I'm done. Yeah. Got to find the people that say, I'm done, and I mean it this time.
Yeah, and they're out there.
You're out there, and you're not going to run out of people.
No.
It's always there, but you're changing them one at a time.
Yeah, and when I get to sit across the table from Jamey and remember when he came in, and where he's at now, and all the other countless other guys that are with their families, that show up for church with their families and having a great life. It's just like, you don't ever want that to end.
Well, you're doing great. Michael, how's he doing?
Really good.
Yeah. You have family now.
Oh, yeah.
Superstar at Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing and Underground.
Yeah.
And he was in sidewalks of St. Louis, almost dead.
Yeah, panhandling for heroin money.
In St. Louis on the streets.
I mean, we don't take easy cases. I mean, I would take some if they were wanting to get changed, but I get a lot of guys that have been in 10, 12, 13 rehabs. I have had guys that started mainlining meth when they're 10 years old. So, I mean, there's a lot of difficult cases out there, but it's happening. And I mean, you don't hear of success stories like that, but it's happening.
Well, way to go.
Thank you. We appreciate you having us.
God smiles on you boys, and you're doing a great job. It's Jamey Carls and Randy Brown, Lifeline-connect. Again, how do they reach you, Jamey?
At lifeline-connect.org.
Hey, keep up your great work. Thanks for coming in. Always a pleasure.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Steve.
Randy Brown, Jamey Carls, ESPN 93.5.